Hey FlossTube, welcome to Creative Whims Studio. Hey, what are you doing watching this video? Aren't you at StitchCon? I feel like I'm the only person that didn't go to StitchCon. I've so enjoyed watching everyone's posts on Instagram, and some people did like a live YouTube video and then just posted it to their FlossTube channel. It's been really fun. I'm going to share with you, hopefully she doesn't mind, Jan Hicks Creates. She has a FlossTube channel, but her Instagram post was the absolute best. Look at Steph. She's all verklempt, meeting Kyle. Sweetie, I'm so happy to finally meet you. I just love that. And then she's like all verklempt. I just think that is so cute. Two of my favorite FlossTubers meeting at StitchCon, and I know that's happening all week. And anyway, so happy for everyone that is there. They're having so much fun. A little bit envious, I must say. Next year, I'm really hoping to get in to be able to go. Okay, so what happened this week? Our local, what'd you call it? So we have LNS for local needlework shop, LFS, my local floral shop. No, I don't like that. Nursery, my local nursery shop. That would be an LNS. Okay, so anywho, it's called Tri-County Farms. It is literally 2 miles from me. It's like a mile down Mount Morse Road, and then I turn left and a mile down there right on the right hand side. Huge, huge. I'm hoping later today to go up there and do some filming of their place, because you just have to see. The lady that owns it has such an eye for color combination and textures of different flowers, and the way she makes her arrangements, and the baskets that she uses, and the containers that she uses to make her arrangements. They're stunning. Why? But I ran to the post office because I got my orders ready too late and I missed the pickup. So I ran them to the post office in town, and on my way back I'm like, I'm just gonna stop because I wanted to get some shade plants for up by the front porch where there's like a tree. I'm sure you've seen pictures, but I'll insert a picture here of what I did. But it's called Coleus, and it's an annual, and they're just big, bold, beautiful leaves. And I've been wanting to get those, so I stopped by to get those, and they were having a 50% off all annuals and 20% off everything else. I went back later after my husband got home from work, because I'm like, Kevin, we need to go back. I wanted to get more zinnias, because the zinnias, whatever you call them, that I planted from seed, I don't know if they're even making it, because I don't want to start plucking things, because I don't know if it's a weed or a seed that I planted. So anyways, I went and spent some cash and some time looking through things, and didn't go haywire, because I love baskets. I love containers full of beautiful annuals, because, you know, as everyone knows, annuals just consistently produce color all through the season, and they're hardy, and they're the most, you can get the brightest colors. Anywho, I just can't stand watering them every day when it's hot and we're not getting rain in July and August. You know, I don't have a good outdoor watering system, so to have a bunch of pots sitting around that would take me an hour to water every day, I can't do it. So I'm sad. But someday my goal is to have a watering system like they do at the flower shops, where there's like a little tube that has, you know, water in it, and then it comes down into the plant, where I can just turn that on for, you know, 20 minutes every other day, and then just turn it back off and everything's watered. When I get that installed, then you'll see containers galore, because I love bright, beautiful flowers. All right, that was long. Sorry. My mom and so this week I didn't get a lot done work-wise because I was still busy shipping orders. I'm still getting orders from my shops, so thank you very much to my shops and to all of you that support my work. And then Mom and I went Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday we took the morning off. I guess you should say the afternoon. By the time we actually hit the road is 11:30. I needed to shop for a dress for a wedding I'm going to a week from this weekend, the weekend after the 4th of July. I'm going to my BFF wedding and staying up north, and it's going to be a blast. So I needed a nice dress, and I don't have a lot of options around here. We don't have cute little boutiques and things. I'm probably going to return the one I decide not to wear, or I may keep it because you never know when you're going to need a dress again. And I'm not one to go shopping for clothes. It's not my thing. I did a lot of that when I was a teenager, and I think I got it out of my system because now I don't. Unless I'm like, let me take that back. If I am, for instance, if all my girlfriends, if we're all together and we go clothes shopping at little boutiques, now that I could do all day long. But like just to go by myself and go to Kohl's and go to JCPenney's and all these, spend a day like that, no. And then today, well, Ellery was over yesterday, so I had yesterday off, and I'm going to insert pictures because I wouldn't be a good grandma if I didn't. But again, the boys came over, we got to see Bree, and then Eric even stopped by too when he got out of work, so Bree and Eric picked up Ellery together. Then today my husband had a procedure, so, you know, I was gone all morning into the afternoon, you know, driving him to his appointment and stuff. So it's been a really short work week, so I haven't gotten near as much done as I had hoped. And then I'm going to insert pictures here of my faux pas. That weed killer recipe that I gave you with the vinegar, Epsom salt, and dish soap works tremendous. Well, last weekend I wanted to go around all my landscaping again. I had done it once and it did a great job, but you know, there were some new weeds kind of creeping up, so I wanted to do that again so that it would be nice for, you know, the 4th of July weekend and everything. And then I wanted to spray down here at the studio. Well, I went to use the sprayer. So we have 3 of those little handheld sprayers. And the one I used was perfect the first time. Well, Jerry wanted to spray down here at the trailer where they're staying. So Kevin said, well, use this one. I know this one works. So I went to find it and it wasn't there. And Kevin was out mowing and I didn't want to chase him down. So I'm like, well, I'll just use one of these other 2. So I loaded up this other one and it didn't work at all. So then I poured all of it out of that one into this other one. And I'm pumping it, and it sprayed, and it worked. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going along, I'm carrying it in this hand, and I've got the sprayer in the other hand, and I'm going along the landscaping all the way up the side of the house. I get up to the garage part of the house, and I look down. Will the pump that I'm holding out here in the lawn, I don't know if I pumped it too much or if there was part of the sprayer was clogged, so enough wasn't coming out. Anyway, the pressure backed up and it was seeping out the top of the sprayer that was holding the solution. And I didn't know because I'm looking over here spraying, and over here it's dripping. So I'm going to insert a picture showing this horrible line of dead grass. It just ruins it. I'm so depressed over it. I mean, I know the grass will grow back eventually, but probably 3 weeks to a month, it's going to look like crap. And it's just, every time I see it, it's a reminder of my stupid mistake. Yeah, next week I won't have Ellery because it's 4th of July on next Thursday. So I'm really sad. I'm going to, hopefully next weekend, no, because next weekend I'm going out of town. I don't know, maybe we'll actually see them on the 4th. I don't know. We don't have any plans for the 4th of July, so maybe we will see them. If not, you'll have to go a week without seeing pictures of my beautiful granddaughter. So there you go. Oh, and then next week's floss tube, I don't know. I'll probably film it Thursday morning because, or Friday early morning because Kristen comes in, I think like at 3 o'clock. Her flight comes in and we're picking her up and zooming up to Higgins Lake. So we'll see what happens. Okay, announcements. So I announced that I was going to have an Etsy sale and that only people that were on my newsletter would get the coupon code, you know, would be in on the sale. Well, that was an unintentional lie because I haven't had a sale on Etsy in a long time. And normally you have to give everyone a coupon code to use. So I gave 20% off on my Etsy shop. And normally, like I said, I would give you the coupon code through my newsletter. Well, when I went to make the coupon code, it showed that I could just have a overall sale. I could just, what I like about that is it's way easier for the customer because it takes the regular price and it has a little line through it and it shows the sale price. And I love that because then you don't have to wonder, oh, I wonder what that is, 20% off. So it's way easier. Not only that, but a lot of times people get excited and they shop and then they check out and forget to do the coupon code. So then they message me and then I have to go in and reimburse them the 20% off. So I thought this would just be way easier. But so it's basically, I guess it's not newsletter exclusive because I am announcing it here on YouTube. So anyways, this sale goes through Monday. So if you haven't checked it out yet, it's not completely site-wide. I'm not giving a discount on my calendar and my other licensed products, only on my patterns, you know, the things that I create and produce. So my patterns, my note cards, my prints on wood, my original paintings, things that I produce will be 20% off. I'm excited. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know this. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, then what's up with that? Maybe you're not on Instagram, but if you are, please like my page and follow me or however that works. I guess it's like on Facebook and it's follow on Instagram. But I showed a picture of a cross stitch that I'm sending, or actually I have sent to Vanna Pfeiffer to finish for me, and it's a cross stitch 149 star-shaped snowman, not Santa, snowman. And she's going to finish it as an ornament, but in the shape of a star. I gave her all the trims, everything that she needs to do it, and I'm stoked because she does such beautiful work, and I cannot wait to see this finish. So as soon as that comes in, I will show you guys. I did get a new cross stitch back from Carol. Oh, Caracia? Oh my gosh, Carol, I did it again. She even told me how to say her name and I already forgot. Caracia. Caracia or Caracia? I'm so sorry, honey. But Carol, you are such a beautiful stitcher, and she was quick. It's the companion piece to Peaceful Snow that I just released here in June. And it's got a Santa on it with the reindeer and a sheep and a bird on his back, and it's got the houses and the trees like the other one, like Peaceful Snow, but it says joy under the reindeer. And also I showed that on Instagram. I was going to show it here on YouTube, but I don't have it in front of me. I forgot all about it. So you're not going to see it until it is fully finished. It will be released in September, so you probably won't see it till September. So if you do want to see it, go to my Instagram. Oh my gosh, I found out from Claire at Claire's Stitching Post that Tina and her son have their cross stitch done that they're doing for me for models. So super stoked to see them. They're sending them. I was really hoping to get them this week, and I'm gonna wait with bated breath because Tina stitched an angel, and it's a star-shaped angel. I kept the original paintings of this angel, and then the next one that I want done is the companion piece. They're both in a star. It's not a star-shaped cross stitch. It's square, but it's a stitched star, and inside is the angel. Anyway, those original paintings are hanging in my house because I love them so much. And then her son, I just said his name, Matthew. Geez. He stitched Star Quilt, and Star Quilt was a punch needle pattern that I retired, and I I love it. I have it right over here. Let me go grab it. So PN024 Star Quilt. It's basically squares with a circle and then a star inside the circle. And they're all different colors. And also, I showed you that bag last week. This bag is, you know, the Star Quilt pattern as well, okay? Well, it is now a cross stitch, and I cannot wait to see that. So I'm excited. Oh yeah, I got an email from a lady, and I didn't write her name down, so my bad. And then also, somebody mentioned it on my last week's floss tube. Valerie from Stitching in the Barn. She gave me such a beautiful shout out on her last video. She purchased one of my original finished, fully finished punch needle patterns, not patterns, but anyway, a finished, fully finished punch needle, let's just say that. And it's one that's, I really love it too. When she ordered it, like if she would have put, because she wrote me a message. When you order something on Etsy, you can write a message to the seller. And she wrote me a message, but she didn't say Valerie from Stitching in the Barn. She just, you know, said something about, I'm excited to get a Teresa Kogut original, love your work, something like that. So I didn't know it was her, and I wish I would have known it was her. I would have wrote something special on the piece that she purchased. I would have, because I love her. I love her videos. She's just a sweet, lovely person. And anyway, so if you do order something from me, and you know, if you do watch me on FlossTube or something, mention that, because I just think that's fun to know where people are coming from or how they found out about me or something like that. So thank you so much, Valerie, for your super sweet, kind words and the shout out. I really appreciate it. And I don't know, I was like blushing. It was so sweet what she said. Comments from my last video. There were 3 people that mentioned wanting me to offer my punch needle as PDF downloads. I guess I'm not necessarily opposed to it. You know, I want to make a suggestion to Etsy. Whether they'll do it or not, I don't know. Maybe someday, if enough people say they want this, maybe they'll do it. But PDF downloads concern me a little bit. And I'll tell you why. Because especially with punch needle, you are giving the person a line drawing of yours. Well, they're not supposed to take that image. I mean, I put on there that this is only to be used for, you know, what it was intended for, which is punch needle. But I mean, a person could go and take it and enlarge it and then make a hooked rug out of it or something. Well, I sell hooked rug patterns. So, you know, it just opens the door for people to use your work in ways that it's not supposed to be used. Trust me, I'm concerned even with the PDF downloads for my cross stitch. I mean, 99.9% of the people that purchase my, or not just mine, but other people's downloadable PDFs are honest people. They're downloading it because they want to stitch it, and that's it. But you know, it just concerns me mostly because like overseas or something, somebody could purchase a PDF download of mine over in China, and it's an original file. They could like actually start selling my patterns over there, and I wouldn't have any idea that they're doing it. If it's a physical copy, the quality is not good enough to make a copy of it, to scan it and make a copy, because the lines are so thin on the chart, the actual chart. So I don't worry about that as much. But so I don't know, maybe I'm just being paranoid. I've been ripped off throughout my art career, and I guess it's, you know, and when I say, and you know, so I have a legitimate concern about that, and that was one of the reasons I didn't do coloring books, is just for that reason. However, I am going to do coloring books, but it's going to be for teddy bears, and it's going to be geared more for children, so like daycares can use it, you know, because I have all my teddy bear calendar images, and I used to design tons of teddy bear quilting fabric. So I have a lot of teddy bear art. So I'm not as concerned about that, but I won't do like my angels in some of my other art in coloring books. I'm going to give the punch needle PDF downloads some more thought, you know, and just mull it over in my mind a little bit more and decide if I'm going to do it or not. And then I did want to mention that I did hear from Punch Needle Marketplace. I hope I didn't start a big rumor or something about them back. And I said, do you have an approximate time when you might be getting that? And I haven't heard back from them. So I don't know. I'm still looking for a source. I did Weaver's cloth that I use, and it's really good quality. And that's my main concern, is that I want quality Weaver's cloth. So I contacted Springs. Their opening order is $30,000. That was so funny. When the lady said that, I just laughed on, oh, wow, okay, that, you know, 3 bolts is not going to equal that. So I asked her if she had a list of distributors that I could contact. So she transferred me to another lady. I left a voicemail. Her and I have been playing phone tag, so I'm still on the hunt. I did go to Joann's today. They didn't have it. So any punch needle I don't have in stock is going to be back ordered until I can get some more Weaver's cloth. That's it for announcements. Questions and answers. I only had a couple things. One thing is, it was a statement from somebody, but I have a question for you. So Sandy Wilson, she said, don't put quilts. She said she's been quilting for years, and she always hears that you should not put your quilts or fabric in plastic. Because I had mentioned that I have some quilts in like garbage bags, and then I have plastic totes full of quilting fabric from way back when I used to design fabric. So I'm just curious why. I don't, you know, if anyone knows why, could you let me know? Louise Petty, she said she's in Michigan too, and she wondered where in Michigan I am located. I'm in Otisville, Michigan. I gotta do it on this hand. I'm like right here. I'm right here in Michigan. Sawdust Sammy, she said she's in northern Michigan, and she wanted to know if there were any shops up there that I could recommend. I don't have a clue. I only know of the 2 shops in my area, which each of those are still 40-45 minutes away. I've got Stitch in Time in Saginaw, Michigan, and then I've got Stitch and Things in Fenton, Michigan. And they're like polar. I would have to do. I don't know how else to find that out. Okay. Whips. I'm so sad. Like I said, I was off a lot this week, so I don't have a whip. I did get that Fox one. Oh, I did get it, like the floss pulled and everything, but I didn't get a chance to actually start on it. And the painting that I wanted to work on, no, that didn't happen either. I'm really struggling here, guys. And then next week with my, with 4th of July and then my friend coming in last weekend, I finished a couple things. And then, yeah. So I have some previous finishes. So when I say previous finishes, the stitching and the punching was actually done, and so these are older patterns, but I fully finished them. So I have one punch needle to show you. All right, PN143. I'm out of stock on the pattern, so I couldn't tell you the size, but you can just go to my Etsy shop and look under punch needle patterns and it'll tell you the size. But this is just a plaque that I got at Joann. Painted it black and sanded it, and then I used Dames of the Needle from the Cauldron, large pom-pom special cut colonial tea. So it's that bigger pom-pom, which on this piece I think looks really good. And then I just hot glued this tin star and hot glued. These were actually sprays, they were kind of big, and I just cut off a piece that would fit on each turquoise. If I get close, you can kind of see the turquoise in there. But from a distance, I don't know. I think the turquoise, the little bits that show, I think it looks kind of cool actually, rather than have it solid black. So this is Cross Stitch 133 Daisy Hill. Stitch 2/2 on 35 count Weeks Dye Works linen onyx. So it was stitched, all the black you see in there is the linen itself. This was stitched by Heather Stevens of Virginia. Stitch count 100 wide by 68 high. Finish size 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. So I think it looks so cool on this frame. I love it. And all I did was I left the glass and everything in there, and I just hot glued it on top of this part of the frame. But I think it looks perfect in there. As perfect as it can be. This was a haul at one point too, this piece, and I believe I actually got that at Walmart. I'm not real sure. But this is Cross Stitch 085 Let It Snow. This is stitched on 30 count Weeks Dye Works blue jeans. And the finished size is 7 by 6.5, which the stitch count is 108 wide by 98 high. This was stitched by Rosalie Colby of Maine. And so this was already this kind of antique-y white, like a white palette, if you will, on a diagonal is the name of the color. And I hot glued that pom-pom on. And this is stitched on, you know, the blue jean, that blue jean color is the linen, and that was already stretched over, not sticky board, because it was back when I didn't know about sticky board. It was on foam core. So I just hot glued all those layers together, and I think it's super cute. And it has this little twine to hang it with, but I probably wouldn't. I guess if you have pegs in your house, it'd be cute to hang it on a peg, but you could just hang it. But it's super cute. I think it turned out really nice. All right, those are my previous finishes. And then haul. Well, one of the things I got, I can't show you today. I'm gonna wait and do it next week. They are lights that are, they look like Edison bulbs. They're like this tall, and they're kind of an amber color, and they have this coil that lights up in the inside. They're to hang outside, and I'm going to hang them in a pine tree, like at different heights, and I'm going to take a picture so you can see them and everything. So I don't have them hung. I just got them yesterday, so but they're going to be super cool. I will show you next week. And then Teresa Bennett, Kitten Stitcher, Shakespeare's Peddler is my enabler this week. She she messaged me about, because she knows I love the children's books, and she messaged me about Sally Maver. She said that her books are awesome, that they're not illustrations. I mean, her illustrations are done with wool and well, you'll see. She makes these little characters and then photographs them to make the pictures for the children's books. Anywho, she loved her work, and this was years ago. I don't remember how long ago, but she said that she contacted Sally and asked her to come to the guild she was in at the time, if she would come and teach a class. Is that cool or what? So she did. She got to meet her. She got to learn from her. She said she was a super, super sweet lady. So instantly after reading that, I went to Amazon and I bought some Sally Maver books. And it was funny, I bought this little one. It's a little chunky book, and it's Hey Diddle, Diddle, the cat in the field, cow jumped over the moon. Anyways, I have that up at the house. I forgot to bring it down. But I put that on the coffee table when Ellery came over, and she noticed that that was a new book. And she picked it up and she brought it right to me, and she wanted me to read it. It was so cute. And it's just adorable. But I do have this one. This one's called Pocket Full of Posies, A Treasury of Nursery Rhymes by Sally Maver. So I'm just going to show you how, well, that's shiny. Let's open it up and maybe it won't be as shiny. So look at her amazing, amazing work. That's all like wool applique and different stitches, and oh my gosh, it's so cool. Oh, I love this one. Look, I haven't even looked through this book yet, you guys. Look at the little piggies. Little piggies. Oh, they're so cute. And look at the donkey. Who doesn't love an ass? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I said that. That just slipped out. But look at the barn, and I mean, these are just super cool. So shout out to Sally Maver, and shout out to Teresa Vanette, I always want to say Kitchen Stitcher. Kitten Stitcher. So she's my neighbor this week. Okay, no, I have one more thing. Remember last week I was showing you things from my Creative Whims store? Well, when I placed my order, like I said, you know, the pillows and this bag came from one manufacturer, and then another manufacturer made these other things that I ordered, so they didn't come at the same time. The manufacturer that I'm going to show you what they made, they're actually a Canada company, and you'd think their shipping would be ridiculous, but it's not. It's not at all. So I'm sorry for the crinkles, but I love that sound. It doesn't bother me at all when people crinkle on their videos. I'm like, yes. So these are little pencil pouches, and I just love them. They're such a cool size. This one said, plant seeds of goodness every day and live without fear of the future. Yes, if you plant seeds of goodness, goodness will come back to you. But look at the little whimsy chick and the little chicken. Super cute. It's printed on both sides. The color's vibrant. It has this little loop. So you could put a little, what do you call those thingies? And loop it around your belt loop if you wanted. Inside, just plain. But you could put your punch needle supplies in there. You could put, I mean, they're just so cute. This one is adorable. It says, her camera was an extension of her soul. Look at that. For a photographer, that's a great gift. Little chicken. The little chicken is saying cheese. Super, super cute. That's a whimsy chick. And then the last one is one of my angels. Americana Angels is perfect since 4th of July is next week. Yeah, but they're really nicely made. So those came last week, and I love them. I'm proud. You know what? I think that's going to be my giveaway this week, because I did not pick out a giveaway, nor do I have a question. Oops. I was going, when Kevin was in his procedure this morning, I had my floss tube notebook, and I was making notes and reading the comments on my video from last week and getting prepared. You know, I can't just sit in the waiting room and watch television. That's it for haul. So we're going to move on to Weekly Whims. So this Weekly Whims, I cannot get enough of P. Allen Smith. He actually has a television show on PBS, but he talks about, what is it, Moss Mountain Farms, I think is the name of his estate or establishment or whatever, but he has all these amazing gardens. He does a little bit of cooking in the kitchen, you know, shares recipes, or he just, anyways, he's on YouTube. Who knew? He has a YouTube channel, and it's awesome. I love learning about flowers and landscaping, and you know, he shares all kinds of stuff. And then Garden Answer. Garden Answer, I actually learned about her through Priscilla and Chelsea, because I know they watch her. And oh my gosh, her parents, I forget the girl's name from Garden Answer, but her parents own a nursery. So you should see their landscaping and all of the flowers, and professional. So you know, when I do my little garden tour, it's like this compared to what they do. So watch that if you're into gardening. Another Weekly Whim. for a snack, I try to do healthy things. I mean, give me a bag of chips and salsa and I can inhale it. I love that so much, but it's not healthy for me. I don't need all the salt. I don't need all the carbs. I don't need all that stuff. And now that Ryan is moved out, I don't buy potato chips. I don't buy chips and salsa. He came over there the other day and he says, no chips and salsa. He looked in this one cupboard that had like, it would have all his junk in it. Cereal, oatmeal, and like chips and all kinds of crud down there. And he opened that up and he's like, this is pathetic. And I'm like, well, I don't need all that. So, so I like to always look for healthy snacks. So what I had last week for snack, oh my gosh, the little cherry tomatoes, I get the organic ones. They're so sweet. They're actually not cherry tomato. I think they're grape tomatoes. They're a little oblong and they're so sweet. And then I cut up, it's boar's head, Havarti with dill. Havarti cheese is the highest fat cheese on the planet, and it's super creamy and it is super delicious. So it's not like you can just sit there and eat handfuls of it, but a couple slices of that with a handful of those tomatoes, so good together. And the other cheese that I love and adore is smoked Gouda. And Gouda cheese is one of the most healthy cheeses for you, and I can't remember why. I used to know why. I looked it up one time, or somehow I stumbled upon the information. And I thought, okay, that's my go-to cheese because I absolutely love it and it's really good for you. Another weekly win. Oh, it's a couple apps on my phone. And these are just like, I don't play games on my phone, and I like Candy Crush and all that stuff. Don't do that. If I'm going to do something like that on my phone, it's going to be something that is stimulating my brain for the good type of thing. Does that make any sense? Anyways, it's Wordscapes and then Wordstacks. So Wordscapes I actually found out through my son Kyle. And let me just show you here. I've got all these, see, I don't pay for it, so I have all these stupid advertisements. I don't want these advertisements. So it's kind of like a crossword puzzle. So you have all these little, you have all these letters. I do not like the music on though when it's, oh shoot, I'm so sorry. I'm doing this backwards. All right, turn the music off. No one wants to hear that, right? Okay, so you have all these letters and you have to fill all of these spaces in making words out of these letters. And they put a little butterfly there. And so if you do that one first, you get extra points or some crap. So M-O what? So I'm going to do M-O, I'm going to do mop. So, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this looking at the camera. So I got to do M-O-P, mop. See, it wasn't the right one. It wasn't in the right spot. M-O-D. No. Anyways, you get the idea. So if you're like, let's say you go to the dentist and you forget to bring, it's good for your brain to do puzzles. So, you know, I'm starting to really sound my age these days. I have to do things to keep my brain stimulated. And then my last weekly whim. This little gadget, I don't know what you call it, but it's a screw hammer or a hammer driver. I don't know. But it's a little hammer. I mean, it's not for building houses, obviously, but for little crafts and things like that, it's perfect. I keep it in my this school desk box behind me, and I take it to shows because it's all I need for what I do. But at the other end, you twist it off, and it's a screwdriver. And then you twist it off again, and it's a smaller screwdriver. And you twist it off again, and it's the itty bitty, teeny weeny, tiny whiny screwdriver. So this one is a Phillips head, and then the other two are the flat. So this is just a handy thing to have for us ladies. We don't need ginormous hammers unless we're like making furniture and stuff. But this is like around your craft room. This is super handy. I love this thing. The pointed end, to be honest, I've never used it. I don't even know what that's for. Why? Anybody have any ideas? But that little tool, I recommend that. I don't have it in my Amazon shop, but I'm gonna look, and if I do find it on Amazon, I will put it in my shop. So if there's a link right here below on the screen, look up now. If the link is there, you'll know I have it in my Amazon shop and you can get it there. I forgot to show you one of my finishes. Okay, this painting here. She's called Storytime Angel. She measures 20 by 20 by 1.5 inches wide here. It's an acrylic on cradle board over papers that I actually took out of a children's book, a vintage children's book that I bought. I painted her. I think I actually did a tutorial on her. I think you can get a tutorial on her. At one point you could have, anyway. But her dress and this bottom part, those are scrapbook papers. Well, it was just her. She didn't have wings and the bird wasn't there. And I just never really, like the painting never really did anything for me. But I really loved the fact that it had, I'm going to zoom in there if I can, if you can see it. Can you see the little bear illustration? And it says the bear family. So all those little words, all that tree, all of that was from a little children's book. Okay. Well, I decided to make her into an angel. So I painted her wings. Here you can see the wings, and then I added this little bird because the way she's looking sideways, I felt she needed something to be looking at. So like she's looking at a little bird. Anyway, I think she's super, super sweet. So I wanted to show you that because I think it's interesting. You know, sometimes a painting doesn't necessarily set right with me or something. And I mean, this had been done for probably 5 years before I thought, you know what? I'd make her into an angel and call her Storytime Angel. And I also lightened up her eyes and put a little highlight on her face, and it just brought her to life. And so now I love it. So there you go. Oh, Pootie Tots. I forgot all about the giveaway, guys. So okay, I'm going to insert the YouTube random comment picker here. We are at the comment picker for YouTube, and the question was, do you have any pets, and if you do, what are they and what are their names? So let's see who wins this week, and you get to choose from those punch needle models that I showed you. The winner is DJ Sport Goofy. I love that. She said, your flower pictures are beautiful. They would make an amazing painting, Georgia O'Keeffe style, like you said. That picture of your dog was so cute. I have 2 dogs, a Pit Mix Max and a Border Collie Mix. Bingo. Cute names. So congratulations, DJ Sport Goofy. Please send me your mailing address at teresakogut3@gmail.com. And if you missed that, it will be in the description box below. Congratulations, and thank you everyone for participating. Oh, that's right. This week's winner gets one of my punch needle models that I never even posted on Instagram. I forgot all about it until like just this moment. So the surprise face is for real, guys. Okay. Alrighty, this is what we're gonna do. Now I'm excited. This is what we're gonna do. I've shown these before as previous finishes, and I was going to put some trim around them and then put them on sale on Etsy, or put them for sale on Etsy, but I never got around to it. So you will get them as is. I am not going to add trim for you, but you can do that yourself. You get to choose. Whoever's name was chosen, you get to choose from Primitive Owl, Boo Bear, Halloween Primitives. That one's really primitive. I love it. And Ho 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 Santa. Okay? So if you're the winner, if your name was drawn, if you commented last week, then you are in on that drawing and you get to pick one of those. Okay? Yay. So this week's Nikes. Make sure when you comment, you write which one of these you would want, or you can just put, you know, either of the three if you like them all, and I can choose for you. And your question is this. What is your favorite season and why? Spring, summer, fall, winter. There you go. I can't think of a question off the cuff like that. My favorite season would be spring, just not this spring. Here's why. I love fall, but I know winter's coming afterwards, so it kind of puts a damper on fall for me. I mean, I love the colors. I love the cool, crisp weather when, you know, you've been sweating your face off all summer. So I like fall probably second best, but I like spring because I like the awakening of all the flowers and the trees turning green and the warmer temperatures. In, you know, June is one of the prettiest months for flowers and things like that. It's before your lawn starts to die because it's getting scorched. So I'm gonna say spring. So just let me know that, and then put which one of these you'd want if you do get drawn, if your name does get drawn. So last but not least, finally, we are here, and I chose Doreen, or the random, the picker. The picker chose Doreen Branham, Orange 5-1. Okay, ORANGE 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then choose number 1. We have tell a business story. So I am going to tell a business story. I have to refer to my notebook, my handy dandy notebook, to look up some business stories, because I'm just under the gun here and I can't think. Oh, yeah. I have a story for you. You are gonna freak out when you hear this story, you guys. Okay, so my very first licensee was Vermont Cotton. Vermont Cotton. And I'm just writing something down real quick. Okay, sorry. I got really close to these people. They lived, obviously, in Vermont. It was my first plane ride. I flew out to Vermont to meet with them, stayed in their home. Their house used to be in the family, the Grumbacher family. Grumbacher makes oil paints, acrylic paints. They bought this house, and it had, Vermont, you know, gets really cold in the winter. Well, their house, cold in the winters, that they didn't have to go outside to go to the barn. But I mean, there was like this breezeway area so that you didn't get like the smells from the barn. Anyways, they redid the whole place, and the barn side was their business, and they sold t-shirts. And how I found them, I actually found them, is because I was at a store. It was Dicksboro. Now the people at Dicksboro were the people that discovered my artwork at a craft show and said, do you sell wholesale? I told this story a while back, and I said, what is wholesale? And he said, well, come to our shop after the show. It's just down the road, and I will talk to you about it. And that's what got me into wholesale, which created Primitive Folk, and which started this whole huge thing, okay? Well, I was at the Dicksboro General Store one day, and they had these t-shirts, and all of the t-shirts were like a natural cotton. They weren't white, they weren't bleached. And I liked that, actually. And they had Carol Endress artwork on them, Warren Kimball artwork on them. And so it was dye sublimation, so it was not like a crispy hard. It was actually printed on there. They were beautiful, very primitive folk arty, and I loved it. And I remember coming home that day and saying to Kevin, I want to make t-shirts. I bought one of them. I'm like, look at this t-shirt. I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. He's like, we're not making t-shirts. I mean, what a nightmare. You've got small, medium, large, extra large, and you got different sizes and different designs and, you know. And so that was one of the things he did talk me out of. Smart man. So I contacted them. I don't remember why I contacted them. Maybe I contacted them. I must have. Let me back up. I'm going to assume I contacted them to see if they would put my art on their shirts. Well, they ended up doing that. We signed my first licensing agreement, flew out there, met. Back of this dog was like this tall. Oh my gosh, it was just such an amazing visit. Vermont is gorgeous. And they had a Hummer. That's back before other people owned Hummers. Anyways, got to ride in that and, you know, just tooling around the mountains. And I mean, it was like a picture book, you know, all the early American homes and in the mountains, and so beautiful, and the little quaint towns with the gift shops. We went antiquing. It was a fabulous trip, and they cook really well, and they cooked us dinner. We had great conversations. It was so much fun. And Kevin and I really got close with them. I got really close to Sandy, and her and I would have long conversations and about the shirts and what we were going to design next and all this stuff. Well, at that time, so this was early on in my business. So as you know, Kyle was, you know, like 1.5 when I started the business. So by this time, he's probably 3 years old, and 4 years old. And I was really into Winnie the Pooh. Whether he was or not, he watched them. Probably. So we would watch Winnie the Pooh. I was obsessed with Winnie the Pooh. And we would go to, I would go to the mall once in a while. I'm not a big mall shopper, but they have a Disney store there. We'd buy Winnie the Pooh stuff. But I got the Disney catalog. That was what I was getting to. And we would just order like shirts with a little Winnie the Pooh on it or something like that. Well, this one day, one of the employees came in, and when I say the employees, they were like our friends. It's, you know what I mean? It was a very small business. It was a very small area to work. We all were very close. Anyway, Debbie brought in this book and it's catalog, and she said, did you get your new Disney catalog yet? And I said, no. And she said, well, look at this. This looks like your artwork. Honest to God, you guys, I got ripped off by Disney. This is what happened. This is how it played out. 2 of my paintings, I can see it clearly, clear as day. If I can find the pictures of my paintings, I will show them and insert them here. But one was called Angel Bear, and it was a bear. He had angel wings, and he was holding a bee scap. There were bees flying around, and I had a little poem on it. And the top said honey, and underneath said bear. They changed it. I think it might have said Pooh Bear, and it looked like my handwriting. They changed out the poem, and they inserted Pooh Bear in the center of it, and it looked legit. Like somehow whoever did it, it was pretty close to. I mean, it was my artwork, but they inserted Pooh Bear, but it looked like it was part of the painting. However they did that, whoever was doing the Photoshop on that did really, really a good job. And then the other one was an Americana one, and it was a bear sitting, and it had an Americana basket, Americana Longaberger basket, with another bear inside, and he was holding a flag. Well, they changed that to Pooh Bear sitting with Piglet in the basket, holding the flag. And I looked at that, and guess what? Here's the clincher. They were on t-shirts. And I freaked out. I immediately called Vermont Cotton, and I said, oh my gosh, Disney has ripped us off. You're not going to believe this. I got or a friend got her Disney catalog, and 2 of my designs, 2 of my paintings are on t-shirts in their catalog. And oh my gosh, Sandy's like, what? What are you talking about? Are you kidding me? Blah, blah, blah. So she's like, let me go get Bill. So she went and got her husband, and it took forever, but they had this big house, so she went to get him. This is back before everyone had cell phones. So he gets on the phone and he says, I can't believe this has happened. He said, you know what? Because, okay, let me back up. Bill and Sandy moved, they used to live in New York. They were big into the fashion and clothing industry in New York, both of them, different companies or whatever. But they wanted out of the rat race, so that's when they opened Vermont Cotton, and they moved to Vermont and opened up their company. And so he had connections, and he said, I know somebody high up in Disney, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to make sure that you are paid for any of the shirts that they sold, and I'm going to make sure they cease and desist selling those shirts. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, thank you so much. So I ended up getting a check. My next royalty check had their royalty check plus a check, and it was a good sized check from Disney paying me for the shirts that they sold, and then a letter saying they cease and desist the sale of that shirt. We are so sorry. This is what happened. So when Disney, this is my understanding, is that when Disney buys things for their stores or whatever, they're buying them from vendors and different people that make stuff. And they get permission, obviously, to use their images or whatever. That doesn't really make sense. I don't really know how it works, to be honest, but they basically, maybe they license, maybe it's all through licensing, but when they do license it, they're assuming that that person is a legit company, that they're purchasing from. So they made, what they said to me was that we bought these shirts, from somebody that ripped you off. It's not Disney that ripped you off. Disney just purchased the shirts. And so obviously, because Disney doesn't want me to sue them. At that time, I never even thought of suing them because I didn't have the kind of money to hire a lawyer to go against Disney. Are you kidding me? That's not going to happen. I was just happy that they quit selling the shirts and I got compensated for the shirts that they sold. There you go. End of story. So I thought. Okay, guys, this is how naive I was. I believed it. I fell for that whole thing. It wasn't probably 10 years down the road. And we're kind of bottoming out after, 10, 15 years of doing this company. And so they shut their doors. And it was long after that it hit me. It was actually Vermont Cotton that stole my designs and did that. And you know why? And you know how I know this? Is because back then we didn't have Dropbox. You couldn't send your things through the internet. They didn't have that kind of technology. I didn't even have my things scanned and saved to CDs or DVDs. We used to use transparencies. And I'm not going to get into what transparencies are, but basically I would have an image and I would get a transparency made of it, and that transparency would go to Vermont Cotton and they would make their shirts, and when they were done with it they would send the transparency back to me. That was they were my only licensee. Well, maybe not. Maybe, I might have had a couple other licensees at that time, but I mean, the transparency went to the company, they gave it back to me. If I sent it out to another company, they would get what they needed off it and send it back to me, because that's all I had. That's the only way I could license my work. I couldn't make copies and send it out like I can now. Not to mention, they were on natural color t-shirts. It just never dawned on me. It never dawned on me that people that I trusted and really liked and thought were my friends, I never dreamed they would do that to me. So it was never even a thought in my head. But as time went on and I got wiser to business, I realized, oh my gosh, yeah, that was hush money. What they sent me, I can almost guarantee that he never called Disney and said, hey, you need to pay her on those shirts. I guarantee you that they just paid me for the shirts, and they just was praying to God that I didn't wise up, and they were hoping it would go away. And it did. They got lucky because I was naive. And, I've had things like that happen in my business since then as well. But I've gotten a lot more wise over the years, thank God. But I don't know. I'm just this small town girl trying to make a living doing what she loves. And I'm not, I would never do that to somebody. So I guess I just thought no one would do that to me. What an idiot. Anyways, that was a long story. I didn't think I had much to talk about today, but I always seem to fill the void, don't I? But that's it for today. Thank you everyone so much for your comments, and thank you for being here each week. And if you're new to my channel, thank you for sticking it out and watching. And I hope that you'll subscribe and click the little bell so that you know when I have a new video. And please don't forget to play on our Chinese fortune teller. I only had a couple people write down the number and pick a color and then 2 numbers. The last number has to be 1 through 4. That's it. Those are the only rules. So that's it. Thanks. And I can't wait till everyone gets back from StitchCon and does their floss tubes. Oh my gosh, it's going to be fun to see videos, to see photos, and anyways, super exciting. So until next week, have a great one. Get lots of stitching done and have a lot of fun. And happy 4th of July. Bye now. Okay, I just got permission from the owner to do a little video of her shop. So these are all the annuals outside, the zinnias and the petunias and all the beautiful things. Roses down here. And you know, my favorite hydrangeas that don't like me. And some pansies. Kind of going fast because all the really good juicy stuff is on the inside. Ooh, I like this. What is this? Sedum. I have a lot of sedum, but I don't have that color. That's beautiful. And then back here, she has like her trees and her bushes and things in the back there. See those right there? The variegated, the light with the, I don't know what that is, but I had 3 of those alongside my garage. And then they didn't do well. They couldn't stand the heat there. So then I put hydrangeas there. Why I thought hydrangeas could stand the heat, I don't know. But then the hydrangeas didn't like it either. So now we have those pines, those little dwarf pines, and they look really cute there, and they're loving it there. So, oh, look at all the little hens and chicks. Love all of those. Coneflowers. I have to buy one of those before I leave. I had coneflowers. I don't know. I think things get drowned out by other things, and they just kind of disappear on me. So this is all the outdoor stuff, and she has really beautiful pots and things. I love this arbor. Okay, so that's all the outside stuff. I've been eyeballing that hibiscus tree. But look at these pots. Look at, I mean, she just has such an eye for color, and oh, look at these pots. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so here we are. Teasing balls. I don't have one of those, but I don't put a lot of like art and statues and things in my gardens. These hanging baskets, 50% off. Well, no, the annuals are, but the pots and that I think are 20% off. So, look at all these beautiful statues. St. Francis, I'd love to get one of those. So I come here probably, I don't know, 10 to 12 times throughout the spring and summer. Look at this pot. Container, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Begonias, petunias, marigolds. I have to show you this one. I think it's kind of up front. I mean, seriously, if it wasn't so hot out, I could spend all day here. Look at all this stuff. It's just so pretty. I love this this new one that's like speckled. I love how she arranges things. Like, look at this basket for shade. The impatiens and everything. So pretty. Look at that. It looks like, I think I would get that one because it looks like paint was spattered on it. These hanging plants. I love these little mini begonias. They look like roses, don't they? So just rows after rows of gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. There's that one that's speckled again. Isn't that cool? Isn't it amazing, guys? I'm so lucky to live like 2 miles from here. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed that.